the CBS 3 studios in Philadelphia, this is Eyewitness News.
Well, students raised their voices to stir citizen action in honor of a civil rights icon. Eyewitness News at Girard College in North Philadelphia for the kickoff to the city's Martin Luther King Day of Service announcement. In just 12 days, more than 140,000 people are expected to volunteer in hundreds of service projects all around the region.
It's not just a day, it is all year long that we celebrate. This year marks the 21st of this Martin Luther King service.
Students from 6 local schools helped create this year's MLK Day of Service mural. The theme is justice and highlights the 60th anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program.
We're so glad you stay with us. It is now 9:48. Tomorrow marks the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, as we all know. And while many see it as a day off from school and work, many more will use that day to give back to the community in the spirit of Dr. King's legacy.
Yeah, this year, a nationwide record of 140,000 volunteers are expected to serve in 1,800 projects around the Delaware Valley. It's a mission that Dr. King would no doubt be very, very proud of. Joining us now live from the Action News newsroom is Todd Bernstein, the founder and director of the Greater Philadelphia MLK Day of Service. And good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Nydia and Gray.
Good morning, Todd. And we know this is the 21st year for this event. And this year you're going to have a new mayor and also a new governor to join this really great event. Talk about that and how exciting the time is for this event.
Well, it's an opportunity for people to celebrate Dr. King's legacy of citizen action by defining the needs of the community and responding through 1,800 service projects across our area and millions more serving across the region and the nation.
It is such a great event every year. Now, I know the Day of Service includes a job fair. Can you tell us more about that? And do people have to sign up in advance to attend?
Dr. King said that if a man doesn't have a job or an income, he doesn't have life, liberty, or the opportunity for the pursuit of happiness. He merely exists. And economic justice was key, and that's why we're doing our 5th annual Jobs and Opportunity Fair at Girard College. People, if you're seeking a job or you're unemployed, you can actually just come down at 9 o'clock to Girard College. You don't have to sign up. Economic justice, along with our overarching theme of justice, racial justice, social, religious, environmental, is a major driving force of this year's King Day of Service, not just on King Day, but as a springboard to ongoing citizen action throughout the year.
And Todd, one thing that folks need to know, there's a link to that on our website, 6abc.com. Also interesting to note is that this event this year comes on the 60th anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott. Talk about how important this event is in today's times.
Well, it certainly underscores the whole notion of justice. When Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, it was a question of racial dignity and economic justice, and we're celebrating that. We have dialogues on race and finding common ground. We will have students and police marching from Eastern State Penitentiary to Girard College, where they will have a dialogue, and the young people will share their common experiences of what it's like to grow up in the community and their relations with police. This is a day that breaks down barriers and brings together people of all ages and backgrounds to find that common ground and find solutions and ongoing partnerships for the future in the name and celebration of Dr. King.
As always, looking forward to it. Todd Bernstein, thanks so much again for joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Once again, the Signature Project will be at Girard College Armory in North Philadelphia. You are urged to use your day off from school and work to give back to the community in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's all happening from 9 to 12 tomorrow.
Then celebrate your hard work at the 26th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Tribute Concert. That's at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon at Girard College's Chapel. The Philadelphia Orchestra will perform to wrap up the day of service.
Today, we're honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and many across our area and across the country will be doing that by serving others. Eyewitness News reporter Jan Carabeo joins us now at Girard College in North Philadelphia, where thousands of volunteers are expected. Always a very special day, Jan. Good morning.
Erica, good morning. This service day has just grown tremendously over its 21 years. We're talking about 140,000 volunteers all across some 1,800 service projects throughout Greater Philadelphia. The signature event is happening here at Girard College a little bit later on this morning. Todd Bernstein is the founder and the director of this really special day here in Philadelphia. Todd, a big day ahead. First and foremost, though, why should people wake up and on their day off of school or off of work come out and volunteer, not only here, but in their communities across the U.S.?
Well, there are many different ways of celebrating, but Dr. King was a man of action 365 days of the year, and on this day we get to embrace his legacy of turning concerns about pressing community challenges into citizen action. We hope that this one day of volunteering will turn into a lifetime of service.
The theme here this year is justice, and there's a lot of different ways you're doing that, but talk about the unemployment and the way to give back to those that maybe are struggling to get back on their feet.
We think of Dr. King as a fighter for social and racial justice, but he was a champion for economic justice too. So we will have a jobs fair, our fifth, with 500 job seekers choosing among 26 employers with real jobs. The main project where the governor and the mayor and Senator Casey will be serving involves sorting clothing that will be donated to men and women through Career Wardrobe and Ready, Willing, and Able, to men and women who are seeking employment, who are low income or unemployed. And that's, I think, an important part of what Dr. King was about as well.
And people see this, they can still volunteer?
They can call our headquarters at 215-851-1811.
Thank you, Todd, so much. So the volunteers will start arriving right around 8 o'clock. The Health and Wellness Fair starts then, too. And then everything really gets going, including that job fair at 9 a.m. Erica, back to you.
All right, Jan Carabeo for us. Thanks so much.
From the Fox 29 studios, this is Good Day Philadelphia.
Of the freedom of assembly, somewhere I read. Of the freedom of speech, somewhere I read. Of the freedom of press, somewhere I read. That the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
That's a rare clip, actually. He gave this speech on April 3rd, 1968, at the Mason Temple in Memphis.
And the next day, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would be assassinated.
At that motel. Well, today, an extraordinary tribute to Dr. King at Girard College, where Jenny Joyce is live for us. Jenny?
Good morning, Mike and Alex. Well, I had the pleasure of also being here last year, so back again for my second time. And right now, it's still a little bit quiet. We are seeing some of the volunteers start to arrive here, and I'm joined by the director and founder of this event. It's the 21st annual. When we look around, we see a lot of tables, but I know that the site is going to change as the morning goes on. What can we expect to see here?
Well, in the armory here, there will be upwards of about 70 different projects. They're hands-on service projects. There's a kids' carnival. Where we're standing right now, the governor and the mayor and Senator Casey will be doing what is our signature project, sorting clothing that will be packed and donated to men and women, low income and unemployed, who are seeking employment.
And is that the clothing right over there to our left? That's what we'll see here?
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be assembled and sorted and steamed and tagged, and then it will be donated through two nonprofits, Career Wardrobe and Ready, Willing, and Able.
Okay, and there's a health fair, there's a job fair on site here today. Can you talk a little bit about the push for civic engagement, involvement, kind of rallying society for social justice?
Dr. King was a man of action, not apathy, 365 days of the year. We're celebrating justice. The jobs fair with 500 job seekers choosing among 26 local employers really embraces economic justice of giving people the opportunity to be productive citizens in society. It's something that Dr. King fought for. We'll have other dialogues and discussions on race. We have students marching with police from Eastern State Penitentiary here. They'll be sitting down and talking about their experiences, and then they'll actually end up playing basketball together.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, you were clearly inspired by Dr. King because you were the actual founder of this 21 years ago. It's the largest, it is the oldest MLK Day of Service event in the country. 140,000 people will be volunteering throughout the Philadelphia area today. Job well done to you.
Thank you.
Mike and Alex.
Yeah, Todd is amazing. 140,000 people. All right, Jenny, good to see you.
I think that's something Philly should really be proud of.
No
we
question.
Really go out and honor the Day of Service.
Oldest, largest. Here's Lauren.
Well, people all over the country and across our area are paying tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. Thousands of people have been volunteering at Girard College on this day of service, and they could set a new national record. Action News reporter Catherine Scott is live at the school in North Philadelphia with more on that. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Rick. Yeah, so many people doing so many different projects here at Girard College today. The event has wrapped up. You can still see people are here getting ready to pack up and go home, but a lot of valuable work being done here today. And while this work is impressive, the hope here from organizers is that this is a starting point. They say Dr. King was dedicated to service 365 days a year, but there's always work to be done in our communities.
Let's get to work.
But these volunteers made the work look like fun at the 21st annual Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service at Girard College. 5,000 volunteers doing 150 different projects to celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
We do what we can to make our community stronger, more just.
Martin Luther King was a champion of strong communities. Many of the things we care most about begin with healthy communities.
From sorting books to thanking veterans, the projects run the gamut. But there's a shared focus on improving communities, and the educational component here is key.
Dr. King brought so many different people together of all ages and backgrounds. And if we can do that and have people get to know one another and break down barriers and build understanding, I think that's part of what we need to do.
140,000 volunteers throughout the region are pitching in today. Organizers say that's a national record and the biggest King Day event in the nation.
Look at the spirit that he's created. It's really incredible.
And in an effort to promote economic justice, they once again held a job fair as part of this event. Part of that job fair included holding workshops for resume writing skills and interview skills. So a lot happened here today at Girard College. A lot of valuable work was done. We're live in North Philadelphia. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News. Rick.
All right, Catherine, thank you. Also on this MLK Day of Service, the city of Chester is holding a number of activities in honor of the slain civil rights leader. Things got underway this morning at the Chester Salvation Army Community Center as families gathered to remember Dr. King's life and legacy. Volunteers also helped prepare care packages for the hungry. There was also a cleanup program, and the kids took part in an arts and crafts project, creating their own works of art that'll be displayed throughout the city.
NBC 10 News starts now.
Today is the day the nation celebrates civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
And here in our area, people mark the day by volunteering their time. NBC 10's Lauren Make stopped at several events around Philadelphia today, and she's joining us live from East Germantown with more. Lauren.
Good afternoon. We are at Martin Luther King High School this afternoon. This is one of the places really benefiting from this day of service, and it is also where young people are getting involved. Inside Martin Luther King High School, the walls pop with orange and purple.
We wanted to beautify the school. We wanted to change the institutional grade paint that was on the doors of the school.
The project manager had a specific idea of who should make it happen. Did you ever think about just hiring someone to do the painting, or did you always want the students to do it?
I wanted them to be involved. You have to be part of the service. You have to be part of the labor. You have to give something. It's not going to always be given to you.
Here and across the region, teachers and parents and family members urged young people into a day of service for Martin Luther King Day. In Center City, they helped adult volunteers preparing tables of hot food.
We're giving some food to homeless people. We're also giving them socks and underwear as well. We're honoring Martin Luther King Jr.'s memory by helping other people. Like he helped people.
Sunshine Ivers brought her godson with her.
We're just middle class people ourselves, but we can help somebody else.
Is that sort of part of this, sort of carrying it through generation to generation?
Oh, yes. I mean, if you want someone to take care of you when you have a slip up in life, then you have to help somebody yourself.
At Martin Luther King High School, even students from another high school chipped in. For Lauren Banks, helping here was part of a tradition she's already used to.
Every year since I want to say I was in elementary school, I've done community service on MLK Day because my mom told me it was always a day on, not a day off.
A day on, not a day off. And I asked her whether she would continue this tradition year after year. She tells me she can't imagine missing this day because it is so important. Live in East Germantown, I'm Lauren Make, NBC 10 News.
And nice traditions there. All right, Lauren.
The Spirit was all about giving back in our region to honor the legacy and life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As New Jersey reporter Cleve Bryan tells you, local college students volunteered to make the world a better place for people and animals.
Use your upper weight to help you do the compressions.
Service came in many forms at Stockton University this Martin Luther King Day. In one room, volunteers taught free CPR classes. In another, they wrote letters for Amnesty International on behalf of people unjustly imprisoned around the globe. This room was exceptionally hands-on. Here, students assembled prosthetic hands for a nonprofit called Enabling the Future.
Folks from all around the world can register who need a hand, and this organization connects folks like ourselves who are printing them with those that are in need.
And we're going to need another one anyway.
What parts they may lack, they made using a 3D printer.
Most times the 3D printing, it's more for just like a hobby and just for fun, but this can actually help someone.
Far from high tech and a few miles from campus, Stockton students also helped at South Jersey Horse Rescue.
Thanks.
They spread hay, brushed horses, and even bagged, let's call it fertilizer.
I think it's great because he's living on like years after he died and everything. Like everybody's all about helping and stuff, so I find it to be really great.
No matter how you're helping.
Yep.
Even if you're scooping horse manure.
Yep.
Stockton students have been helping out at the South Jersey Horse Rescue for the last 3 years. And today they get a little extra help with the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service.
Service is more than just service to people, it's also service to animals.
Whatever your passion, there was an opportunity to help. I'm Cleve Bryan, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
I have a dream that all men are created.
And of course, it's the Martin Luther King holiday, and all over the country, men, women, and children using their day off from work or school as a day of service to others.
In Philadelphia alone, 140,000 volunteers gave their time and their talents. Our Bruce Gordon is just back from the signature event at Girard College, joins us now live in the newsroom. Bruce?
Yeah, Ian and Lucy, this day of service has become quite an event. The question, can it become more than an event? Can it become a way of life? Everywhere you look, there were signs of service. At this table, volunteers made hats and scarves for the homeless. Over here, adults made identification badges to help children if they get lost. And over there, kids were building birdhouses. The final touch when Habitat for Humanity hands their clients keys to a new home. And every volunteer you talked to gave you the sense that when they served others, they got something very special in return.
I love giving back, and I love seeing smiles on people's faces when I do something to bless them and their families.
Elected officials were on hand for an event that has grown in size and in significance over the past 21 years. Each carried a message that public service must not be limited to the Martin Luther King holiday.
We might celebrate this idea on this one day every year, which is a special day, but this is actually something we ought to do every single day of every year.
The founder and director of the Philadelphia King Day of Service agrees. Todd Bernstein knows this event accomplishes little if he doesn't push volunteers to make a bigger commitment to their community.
People need to be asked to serve. They won't necessarily just appear.
With that in mind, this event includes a civic engagement expo at which service groups can sign up those who want to help provide year-round assistance.
So what we're hoping is people who are volunteering today will be inspired enough to learn more about other organizations and volunteer their time to help beyond King Day.
Now, if you're interested in helping your community on an ongoing basis, go to fox29.com. We will link you to the sites that can make it happen. Ian?
All right, Bruce, thank you.